Hello, good morning and a very warm welcome to the XL Arena here in London's Docklands for our live coverage for the very first time of the British Forces Jumping Show Jump Finals, which are coming here from the XL Arena at the London International Horse Show. It's a wonderful pleasure to be here in London at what really is the biggest occasion that there is to offer in terms of British show jumping. It's a fabulous pageant, of course, of all things celebrating riding and all sorts of things in the ring. And for us to be here today for the military final is a very special privilege. And wherever you are around the Forces world or around the world today, you are more than welcome to be joining us. Well, this is obviously so special for the riders and their horses that have made it through to the final. Throughout the whole course of this year, of course, there have been a variety of military jumping events which have been happening, the various inter-services events that have happened for the Royal Navy, the British Army, the Royal Air Force, and indeed for UCAF as well. And what we have here are the top 8 riders and their horses who have achieved the most points across the whole year at those events. And so for them to be here is very, very special. So we have 8 riders here who have made it through to the final. We can have a quick look at the running order actually, because I can tell you who's on first. Captain Mary Pearson from the British Army, and she's riding Louis. They'll be the first ones out for this first run. I'll run through the rest in a moment, but we have basically 2 runs or 2 jump-offs that are happening here today, and the most important thing, of course, is to be really sort of getting a clear round in that first run. If they get the clear round to start with, it really puts them in a very strong position for the second run, which will be, of course, against the clock. Then mistakes can happen and we can suddenly see a real change in the leadership that can happen at any time. So Mary Pearson leading us off today on Louis. She's new to this event. We've also then got Sergeant Louise Hoyle from the Adjutant General's Corps, and she's riding DR, and then Lance Bombardier Megan Benny, who's also new to the event. She'll be on Quattro. The 4th rider is the only member of the Royal Navy who is here today, and that is Lieutenant Robin McFadden. She's new to this event on Piper. Then we have Captain Lara Dixon on Topsy, another newcomer to this final, followed then by someone who is very much not new to the event, and that is Lance Corporal Laura Charlie. She's riding Killian, with before her Bombardier Christy Farron riding her horse as well. She's new to the event, with Corporal Holly Hall, another former winner of this event. She'll be riding Jeffrey. She's from the RLC. So that's the running order. Of course, what will happen then for part 2 is that we will then decide those who have the slowest times or have the most number of faults. They will then go first, and then we get through to what could be a very exciting final jump off. So we'll be underway very, very shortly. You can see behind me that we've got the riders preparing, getting themselves ready to go. So I'm going to hand you over now to our commentary team, who will be looking after things today. Great pleasure to welcome back Rupert Bell, a former colleague of ours at BFBS many years ago, and WO2 Pete Pagan-Skelly, who I'm told there's not too much about military show jumping and riding that he doesn't know about. So hopefully we'll be hearing their expertise as they take us through this 2023 jump final.
Well, thank you, John. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here, and pleasure to come back onto the BFBS shows how old I am. The SSVC airwaves, wherever you're listening and watching around the world. A very warm welcome to this London International Horse Show and to the XL Arena. It's the 3rd year we've been here because prior to COVID, we were over at Olympia. But this venue is growing and going from strength to strength. It's not only, of course, a great ambition for all these riders who are taking part in this services jumping championship, but we do have 3 World Cup qualifiers. So these people competing here are enjoying being around some of the great athletes in the equestrian sport. But the first rider, I can see Pete is coming into the arena. Always an anxious moment on this for the first rider, and that first rider is Captain Mary Pearson. She is riding, although we call it the stable name, but to give the horse's official title, Je t'aime Fandango, which I think means I love Fandango. I love you, Fandango. Pete, how's your French? Welcome. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much. My French's not fantastic, but She's also a member of the eventing team. I competed with her for the last couple of years. Fantastic horse. She's come back from injury in June. Hopefully, well, she says she feels really confident today, and I'm sure she'll do fantastic.
Yep, the horse's stable name is Louis, a 12-year-old, 17-hand Irish sport horse. Normally plies her trades as a veterinary officer, working in the dog regiment. And actually, this show is full of dogs. They have dog agility classes left, right, and centre. Well, let's see how she gets on to set the tone for this competition as she begins her round. The height is around about 1 metre. And there is the scope, obviously, to improve, but so steady as she goes to begin with.
A really confident start from Mary here.
Just checking into that, just making sure that error-free. Coming round. Coming back across the arena. This is much bigger than Olympia, the arena. They've got much more scope here, just pops that. Turning round. And so far, this is a very confident-looking start to this Services Championship. And you can actually sense that she's growing in confidence as this round is progressing.
Absolutely, and she needs to keep her concentration coming into the final few fences here, because she finishes on a double and quite often can trip them up, but fantastic from Mary, clear there.
Steady start, excellent start from Mary Pearson, the first of our riders to go, and she has produced a clear round, 64.58 seconds. The time is not significant in this first round, but it will matter next round as Mary comes out of the arena, gives the horse a well-deserved pat. And next in, from the Army Welfare Service, the Adjutant General's Call, we see Staff Sergeant Louise Hoyle riding Dior Papillon. Dior, this 9-year-old, will be coming in and based up in Catterick. And I wonder whether a 2-year-old son is watching on. Have they come down as a family day out? Well, more than a family.
I believe her mother's here to support, but I'm not sure the son's here today, but I'm sure I'll be watching or listening at home.
You're right. Well, let's see how Louise can get on. And
so it's important to note that Louise has had this horse since a youngster. She has brought this horse up from a 2-year-old. All the work is down to her, and this is her just rewards now, hopefully.
And already a more aggressive start in terms of the speed. Was third here last year, so knows this arena. Maybe you can sense that with the way she's begun her round here. With Mary Pearson's time, a steady 64.58 seconds, but this already feels like it will be a good deal quicker.
It will be. She's a very forward rider. She was fantastic at Windsor this year. She will absolutely push the envelope and the jump off later on, I'm sure.
Well, coming round and heads to the 6th fence, pops that nicely. You can really see this is so much quicker. Doesn't look like she's going to have any fence down, but I may just have done the wrong thing there.
Commentator's curse.
Coming to the final double, and I'll tell you what, that's a very confident start, and you can see a much quicker time. Well, 4 seconds inside that time, and with 60.94, and just under 4 seconds quicker, and quite rightly, a broad smile from Louise Hoyle. That was a good start.
It's a fantastic start for Louise. She'll be absolutely over the moon about this start. But 6 more riders to go. Let's see what happens next in. I think we have Lance Bombardier Benny. She's riding her own horse, a horse in fact I bought with her. She won't like me saying that. Fantastic little horse. Again, she's had this horse since it was 4 years old.
Sounds like you're biased here because you bought the horse, so obviously you saw something about this horse, who is officially known as a Ruby Slight, but Quattro is the stable name, an 11-year-old. Megan's been in the Army since 2012, and again a quick positive start, but no fence down early on, and has always wanted to compete here. Goes over the Voltaire design fence. Oh, just brushed that front part of the fence there, the Longines fence. Oh, You could see that just almost, there was a bit of a miscommunication.
Absolutely. It wasn't quite liking that fence in the warm-up this morning when they were going around. Clearly that's still stuck in her mind, but hopefully she can finish confidently here.
Well, so the first fence down there for Megan Benny. I think she'll be cross with that because it's been a good start to the round. And much better, a confident end. Just that one little blip really when Johnny just got the sort of communication passage was there was a breakdown.
Absolutely, it's not quite like when you're driving a vehicle or something. The horse has its own brain and inevitably it will do its own thing. You have to be in sync all the time. That's just evident with these riders how much hard work they have to put in throughout the year just to get to here.
Well, used to be in the King's Troop and training. We used to train new riders and new horses. I think this is our only naval representative if I look down my list.
It is indeed.
And it's Robin McFadden riding Red Hot Chili Pepper, aka Piper, a 12-year-old 16-1 Irish sport horse. She's actually a Royal Navy reservist and has been deployed various places and supported the UK in the COVID response. And she works as a careers officer at the Armed Forces Careers Office. So off she goes. 2 clear so far. Rider number 4 of our 8.
Although she is the only naval rider here today, she's not to be underestimated. She's had a fantastic year and she is always up there in the places.
Was the Royal Navy equestrian champion last year, so she will be expecting to go well. This is the fence that our previous rider had a bit of a mistake. That was Megan Benny, but no mistake from Robin. Like the anchor on the back.
Being from a ceremonial regiment.
That just was all going well, but just there was a moment's hesitation, and hence the reason why I just had to scramble over that. But unfortunately, a fence down, and indeed a time fault has been added. So 5 penalties there. 65.43 she came home in. So that'll be disappointing because again it was a steady start. Now our 5th of our 8 riders, top seat 5, Captain Lara Dixon is coming into the arena now from the Royal Logistics Corps, riding this 11-year-old warm blood mare, and she is at 1 Regiment Royal Logistics Corps, planning and managing training, exercise and operational deployments. And she's back riding competitively after a few years away when she used to compete on ponies, so presumably some time. But obviously done well to qualify here because you don't just turn up, you have to go through a series of qualifications.
Absolutely, there's a number of shows over the course of the year where these riders have to compete and get placed. They build up points and then the top 8 riders make their way to this, the pinnacle it is for the services show jumping.
Well, she was 3rd at the Royal Windsor Horse Show earlier this year. So let's see how she gets on. And again, a free-flowing start.
Yep, she's really making some light work of the jumps, nice and forward, letting the horse do its work across the field. I think we're on for a good round here.
Going back down the arena from the in-out gate. Jumps the National Lottery fence and all making it look straightforward at present.
And then she's going to sit up now to come into the double. 1. Fantastic clear.
That is the best round, no doubt about it. Well, quicker by a long way, 55.15 seconds. That is over 5 seconds quicker than the 2nd place rider, Louise Hoyle. So a really good run there. there was plenty of scope with that horse, could have jumped much higher. Looked a really confident looking round there from Lara.
Absolutely, that's one to watch in the jump off. But next we have Bombardier Christy Farron from the King's Troop, one of our ceremonial regiments, on her own horse, Marley.
And they're here this week doing their thing.
Absolutely, the King's Troop are here all week performing the world famous musical drive, of which Christy is a part of.
Christy joined the King's Troop 5 years ago, initially as a
And
ceremonial guide.
riding Marley. Rosemont Hill is official name.
Now qualified saddler, part of the small team that maintains the tack.
And she helps maintain the saddlery for the Royal, which is basically, I'm told, like being a Formula One mechanic in Grand Prix racing. Basically making sure everything works.
Absolutely, I can't argue with that. She's definitely kept me in the saddle, because as we know, those riders out there, if that saddle work isn't working properly, then you're coming off your pony. So yeah, fantastic.
All going well so far. Oh, just brushed that one on the way through. Almost look, barely
Very
looks
unlucky.
touch.
Very unlucky.
Can she just hold it? Oh dear, just losing a bit of rhythm and control. It was almost like the confidence seemed to just disappear after that, well, almost innocuous brush of the rail. So that will be disappointing for Christy Farron to see that one, those two fences go down, and a look of slight disappointment there.
I think she was really unlucky with that first pole, and then that maybe knocked her confidence. And as a rider sometimes, and the horse, keep that concentration, that's the toughest thing.
Well, there's a great Christmassy feel here. It's a equestrian Christmas party here at the London International Horse Show.
Coming in next,
and
representing the Royal Signals.
Next in, one of the most experienced and a former winner. We've got Laura Charlie of the Royal Corps of Signals, based up in Stafford, I think she was telling me.
A very talented rider, and I come up against her more than once, and most of the time come off worse. She is a fantastic rider, and she cares and brings on her horses, and this is another different horse that she's managed to qualify this year, so that is testament to her as a rider.
Well, just a 6-year-old, this horse, and so you never quite know, but inexperienced, and obviously competing in an arena on this size and scale, it's very different from what we normally be competing in, week out.
Absolutely, you'd normally be in nice big open spaces. The crowd has an effect, the lighting has an effect, and then that really what tests the bond between the rider and horse, especially for us that don't necessarily get to compete in these sorts of arenas. But you know what, Laura's going round, you can see she's breathing, they're both relaxed, just going about their business. It's fantastic to see.
Okay, that Longines fence plenty of hang time. No chance of that coming down.
This is the fence that's catching most of them out as she comes into the candy cane, and she's left it up.
But no concern there for her, bringing all her big ring experience to play here.
So she's coming round to the final two fences. First part a single fence, upright, and then coming into a double. Single followed by a parallel, and she's clear.
Nothing wrong with that. So a very good run, a confident start from a former winner here. Has competed not only at Olympia, where she won, I think she said it was 2018 that she was the winner, but competed when we've come to Excel, which we've been here for the last 2 years. And beaming Laura coming out of the arena. And last to come in will be Corporal Holly Hall of the Royal Logistics Corps.
Another former winner, I believe.
And she's works and rides out a lot, rides out in racing. For Alice Haynes, who's actually an emerging trainer, I think in the Newmarket area. And Holly has had plenty of time and been involved with, and no doubt you know her well.
Yes, she's been with the show jumping team which one of the first members when we formed the 3 teams, eventing, show jumping and dressage. She was in the show jumping team with myself. Different horse then. This is a new combination I don't know so much about, but knowing Holly, I'm sure it'll be fast.
Jeffrey is a 15-year-old. And not like a sort of fiery little 2-year-old that she may be riding for Alice or something.
Yeah, she does like her spicy horses.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get on them myself, I will be honest.
Well, I've got a brother who trains racehorses, but I don't want to get on them.
No, I'm too old for that. I think there's a time you just stop bouncing.
Yeah,
But she's doing well so far. She comes round into the candy canes.
And the way it will be the quickest clear will go last in our second round. Again, nothing, no hint of a mistake, just wants to, key is to try and remain clear, and then when it comes to the next round, that's when you put the afterburners on. And coming now, popping down the arena, and that's a very quick, easy looking round there for our final rider in this Service Jumping Championship at the London International Horse Show. Holly Hall goes clear, and she will be the penultimate rider to go in the second round. Lara Dixon was terrific in the first round with the quickest in 55.15. So now there is a bit of a gap, and of course there is a strong military presence at this show, being involved not only with sort of behind the scenes as well, and with the organisers here. H-Power, of course, are linked with many other big shows and military occasions, so there's a big link between the organisers here and the military. And for Captain Lara Dixon, she's the one they will all be hoping to chase down in round 2, which will begin in about 10 minutes' time, I believe.
Indeed, gentlemen, great commentary there from what we've been enjoying in this first run. And I have to say, I don't, in all the time that I've been, maybe you're still picking me up, that the first time I can remember covering this, that we've actually had 4 clear rounds after the first run. So that's really exciting stuff, isn't it, both of you?
I have to. Oh, I'm over to you, Pete, on that one. John, I'm curveballing that one.
No, it is fantastic to see. I can't necessarily comment on how many we've had when it comes to clear rounds, but there's some very talented horses out there today, and it's definitely going to be a hell of a jump off.
I mean, yeah, terrific stuff, and I think that such high quality that we've seen from all the riders so far, and of course, even if you've got 4 faults, even with 8 faults, with a jump off coming up against the clock, mistakes can certainly happen, can't they?
Absolutely.
So for everybody,
it's
still very much an open chance of winning this.
And that's happened before, absolutely, because they're going to jump off, you're confident, you're pushing, and all it takes is 1 or 2 poles down and you're letting the door open for someone else.
Okay, well, let me bring in Commander Joe Bollen then, shall we, who's from the UCAF Equestrian Association. Joe, thanks very much indeed for joining us here. Great occasion, great day. I'm sure everybody is enjoying it very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got a great batch of competitors. So we've got 50% of the team here are new to the show. So, and I can just tell by seeing them warm up and how they've competed in there, they're showing their professional basis of training and professionalism as uniformed people. They're disciplined and they're chilled and calm and really taking it in. And the horses in the warm-up were taking a good look at the place, but actually what I've just seen, those first rounds were amazing. So I'm really pleased with them all.
We've just been saying, I mean, I don't recall in the years I've been watching this 4 clear rounds in the first run, because it's strange for the horses, a lot of the horses. It's strange for the riders, most of the riders here, going into that big arena.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's just really exciting for the future that what we're seeing here is, we've been growing this for years. The Single Service Associations put a lot of time and effort and funding where they can into bringing their riders on and growing them. There's no military working horses here this time, so they're all privately owned. So those riders are finding time in their really busy schedules as professional uniform people to grow their talent. And I'm just super pleased that today we're seeing some really, really good competition out there. And we've changed it a little bit this year. So H-Power, the organisers, have agreed to change the format. So the second round we're seeing jumping is against the clock. And so they're not jumping the same course. It's the riders, when they walk the course earlier, they had to take in the jump-off course as well. So it's a bit more of a test for them for the second bit of the competition.
Well, that's very interesting. So they know what they're going to be up against, but they've had to remember that after doing the first run.
Yeah, so they walked course earlier, which is what they've just jumped. And as they were walking the course, they had to take in the course in a different order. So they will be jumping fewer jumps. And against the clock. So they want to go out there and do the best they possibly can, leave the jumps up obviously, but also do it as quick as they can and come away with the best possible time, because that will affect their standings. So that's different to the format we've run previous years.
I'm just looking at, obviously I've been keeping a note on the list here. Holly Hall, obviously a previous winner. Laura Charlie, a previous winner. They clear rounds. Laura Dixon, though, fantastic in 55.15. That was a terrific run.
Yeah, absolutely. Really exciting combination. I mean, Laura's horse looks like it's got springs in its feet. Not the only horse has got springs in its feet, but she was going really, really well. So I think that's exciting to see what she'll do. But at the end of the day, they have to leave the poles up. They have to go clear. So if they take a risk and go fast and drop poles, then they go down the running order. So there's a lot at stake this morning. And I see the horses are about to go back in again. So I think everyone's keen to see what's going to happen next.
They are indeed. Well, thanks ever so much for joining us, Jo.
You're very welcome.
And this is such a great occasion to be at, isn't it? And to be here at the London International Horse Show is just brilliant. Let's now go back to our commentary team for the second run.
Thank you, John. Yes, and this will be the deciding moment here, and the big moment for these 8 riders. First to come in is
Bombardier Christy Farron from the King Street.
Indeed, coming in, and just had a couple of blips of a very unlucky pole down that you thought, how did that go down, and then had the next one down. It was almost just unsettled her rhythm and her concentration. But key now is to make sure she goes clear this time. Slight change to the course for this jump off.
Yes, so they've taken a few jumps out, and you'll see some tighter turns from the riders now where they try and cut some time off, or maybe they just play it safe and go for the clear.
Well, sadly not there, just got a little close to that one. So not necessarily been Christy Farron's day, because they combine and actually just had that fence down in the first round, coming to the double and just coming round, because the double's where we finished last time, and looks like that was quite a bit of a higher fence at the end, but just 32.89. That's the sort of key moment now. Let's see, and then we'll be looking when we get to about the 4th rider, see certain where they are in terms of relation to the other riders. So we want to get a bit of a marker. But for Christy Farron, not been her day. Just couldn't quite get the rhythm going. But now, what about our next rider, the representative from the Royal Navy, leading hand, Robin McFadden, coming in.
Absolutely. Let's hope that anchor on her bum doesn't have an effect. The ceremonial me just wants to cut that hair off, if I'm honest with you.
Okay, right. This Royal Navy reservist. Let's see how she gets on. And starting with 5 points, had a time penalty in that first round, so may not be the quickest horse, but can she stay on that score and just give herself a chance of having a good finish here? Just having to work the horse and keep the horse going. And
she's just had a pole there. Yep.
And it was, you could see her just having to
really trying to lift it over the fence. She's really unlucky, but now she just needs to stay clear and push on for the last few fences, and she might manage to zip in the places.
Well, she's gone clear in a good time, 31.21, and not the easiest horse to sort of coax into.
I think she had a pole there.
She did. Yep, she had a pole down. So she's finishing on 9, Red Hot Chili Pepper. But a big moment, being given a good hand by the supporters in the crowd here.
Yep, so she gave it all over these fences. Just a reminder to those out there, it's fence 3, 11, 7, 8, 9 AB, then 4. Lots of tight turns. And here we got coming in now is Lance Bombardier Benny. She comes in on 4 faults from the first round.
And
One down in that first round.
spent many a year in the King's Troop.
Of course, with everything to play for against
And has been and joined the 26th Regiment Royal Artillery. But for Megan, let's see if she can remain on her starting score here. On 4. Just giving plenty of room there. That's where I think we might see 1 or 2 go a little quicker coming off that corner.
I think Megan's playing safe here, and I think it's a good decision. I think she's going to try for this clear round and see what it sits amongst the rest of the horses. Oh,
This that fence is catching them out, just getting a little close.
I think people are coming around the corner and they're not quite keeping the horses moving forward. And again, she's just tipped the first part of the double there at A and B.
And coming to the final fence now, and the time is a 37.41. Just never quite got going, lost the rhythm towards the end of that round. So she's going to finish on 12 penalties, which means that currently she lies in second of the 3 completed riders. 9, 12 and 16 the penalty scores. Top of the tree at the moment is Robin McFadden on 9, but certainly now we're going to be getting with...
This is where that height goes up a few more centimetres. People push a bit harder. It just catches you out. And I think Benny just got caught a little bit out there trying to be quiet and steady, and maybe just not enough energy to get over those fences.
Okay, well, next in is, I think you were suggesting you think this combination might be worth watching out for. And it is Captain Mary Pearson of the Royal Army Veterinary Corps. She's riding Je T'aime Fandango, Louis. And she was first to go in the opening round and just went steady, didn't try and do anything dramatic, but now this is the time you can see immediately she's cut more of that corner off.
Yeah, lovely little turn into the candy canes there, keeping the energy going over the parallel. She puts in a tight turn around the top left-hand corner there. This is the upright, and she's left it up.
Keep an eye on that marker, about 18 seconds she was through that, so when we compare the others we'll see if she's up. Another tight turn into the final fence, and you can see immediately this is a really good round.
She has laid it down there, hasn't she?
Absolutely, you were right before that, Pete. 29.68 seconds, that is the marker. So looking at that fence at around about 18 seconds, the one that's been catching them out,
that will... Right, indeed, yeah. That was definitely an eventer's round there. Tell she's an eventer, she pushed through those fences.
Well, she's the one to beat. But all to play for then, as the Services Jumping Championship comes to its climax here in the London International Horse Show Arena at the XL. There's a lot going on here throughout the week, but great to be part of day 3 here, and starting the competitive action is also the day when the international show jumping gets underway as well, and they'll be mixing around. I've just seen Tim Gredley walked past me. He's one of the was part of the European Championship team earlier this year, so great chance for riders from the services to mingle with some of the elite combinations from around the world, and horse and riders. Star-studded lineup of equestrian talent here, but Laura Charlie, well, in services jumping turners, she's definitely one of the star turns.
Absolutely, another one to watch there. She just came in, just let her horse see the candy canes. Maybe she's a little bit concerned about that. We'll see as it goes on, but I no doubt she'll be moving across this course.
All right, 29.68 seconds is the time to beat. And now just winding up. Now she's off and running. Now, again, looking at that, just goes right inside there. So that's the first person to do that, but maybe...
she's paid the price there, hasn't she?
Seemed a good move, but just got it wrong. Was looking to be aggressive, and now coming here, and you can see the time would have been
she would have been up on the time by at least a second there,
and actually probably has gone a little slower since that mistake, just wanting to keep the damage to a minimum. And as you can see, that was a very effortless round of 29.25. Is the quickest time, but looking for that extra bit of time may have cost her. And the horse is only a 6-year-old, but it's definitely one that could come back. And she has moved into second spot. Mary Pearson in the lead with that clear round. But the time is gettable. without
absolutely
question.
gettable, but the pressure is there. It's a clear round.
Yeah.
You've got to chase it.
That was what she was looking. She wasn't holding back, went for that tight angle, and it cost her dear. So she won't be winning a second services title. But coming in now, Staff Sergeant Louise Hoyle riding the Dior Papillon, or Dior for short. So what a chance here. Knows what she's got to do. Maybe just now you can see what eyeing where the angles and the...
She's looking for those tight turns, absolutely.
So here we go. Big chance. Looking to... Oh, got that all wrong. That is frustrating.
She will be upset with that, but I've no doubt the professional she is, she will push around this course and still go for it.
Well, she's taken a... going... Yeah, because she took the wrong course as well. So...
really gutted for her, but her and the horse should be proud of themselves nonetheless. It's an accomplishment.
And they were eliminated because took the wrong course. So that quite just, it all went wrong. The horse... And she looks, you can see, absolutely so disappointed, having done all the good work. And
it will be bitter for her now, but she has done fantastic, and knowing her personally, she'll come back stronger next year.
Well, it's all to play for, though. That will be disappointing for
two left to go.
Louise Hoyle, who eliminated because wrong course, just from obviously that mistake at the first just sort of threw her. But this is the problem, you know, switching on nerves or just the just got to her. But now will the nerves get to our final rider, Holly Hall, because this is a big chance. The moment it's Captain Mary Pearson sitting out in front with that clear in a time of 29.68. So all to play for Holly Hall, riding Jeffrey is his name. Now comes to the first, has to go clear, taking a bit of a keen hold coming out of that first fence. Good stride into that. Now this is the key moment. What time is she here?
She's up on the time by a second as it stands.
So real chance, penultimate rider here, Holly Hall. And this is good, as she got inside the time.
That's close.
It is
just nicked it
by just under a tenth of a second, 29.56. So Holly Hall is our new leader, and yes, she's very happy with that because she didn't panic at any stage, just quietly went about her business, and her horse Jeffrey getting a well-deserved pack. And I don't know whether that's her support team there, but they seem to be, oh, and someone's in absolute bits there.
I think they're just happy for her. That's a fantastic round from
I think they're nervous now. Now they're looking anxiously to see.
They can't see what we can see, can they?
But it's Lara Dixon who's now going to be the final rider coming in, and so means this time is vulnerable, but you can't be too aggressive, and that's what we saw with Laura Charlie. It cost her by being a little bit aggressive off towards one of the fences. It was this turn here where after this she got a little aggressive, but she's doing the Laura Charlie line, so she has come inside the clock, pops that's better, and she's going for it. Now where is she here? Just a little wide coming to that, but the time looks good because she's
well up on time.
Well up, and she's pushing hard here is Lara. Goes to the double now, coming round to the corner. This looks good. Coming to the final fence in this Services International Championship, gets close to it, but is the time good enough? It is indeed 29.15, and this is our champion here at the London International Horse Show. Lara Dixon has done that, and you can see what it means to her. That smile says it all, because she had to be confident throughout that round. Couldn't afford an error, but she has done that. Terrific performance to be our services champion. That was a very confident piece of riding, Pete.
It was fantastic. It was lovely to see both rider and horse in sync over those fences. Fantastic round, but what a great top three. All three riders were fantastic there.
Absolutely. Mary Pearson going clear, setting a good time. Laura Charlie had gone quicker, but she made that mistake after the second fence. Then you saw Holly Hall come in and make no mistake, just a very confident run. But it left the door open for Lara Dixon, and she found a way of going clear and winning the title here. My goodness me, how happy she will be. A thrilling conclusion in terms of the jumping here with Lara Dixon, our champion.
Well, hopefully very shortly we'll be talking to the winning rider here on her wonderful horse, Lara Dixon, who has claimed the title here. What a fantastic performance that was from Lara, as I just step in front of the camera here. And really, such an exciting jump-off we saw there, didn't we, in this Forces final. And really, it was nip and tuck right at the end there. And you saw what the pressure does when you face a jump-off right at the end there. And, well, Lara Dixon, fantastic. Holly Hall knows all about it as well. And I think we're going to get Lara to come and join us right now. Lara, please come this way and step over here to talk to us. Well, first of all, congratulate you straight off the horse. You'll be out of breath, but hey, fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, it's brilliant. Really brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, you know, two great rounds there, and the way you cut those corners off at the end there. Clearly, you had to do the walk beforehand, so you knew maybe the areas that you could shave a few seconds off.
Yeah, I had a good chat with my coach, and he said, just believe in yourselves, sit up, keep your legs on, and she'll look after you. And she does. She looks after me every time. So yeah, really, really happy.
I mean, what a horse.
Yeah, what a horse. What a horse. Really, really happy.
And just tell me, what does it mean to you to be the Forces champion? Because it's a long year, isn't it, of competition?
It's a long year. It's actually also the first year I've owned her. So first year, never been here. I mean, what a privilege for all of us to be able to jump here. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Unbelievable. And let's pay also tribute to Holly and also to Mary, because it's a new one for Mary as well here today. Holly knows all about winning this, but you pipped her.
I know. I knew she was in, and I know she's quick, so I thought, you're here, you've got to go for it. You know, nothing to lose now, and I knew she'd be a real tough competitor. But Topsy's always got it in her, so yeah, just really happy.
Fantastic. Well, Lara, congratulations from all of us, and I'm sure all your colleagues here who competed will be equally delighted for you, and also for the British Army. You dominated this final.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's been a good year for us. Good year. So.
Fantastic. Well, Merry Christmas.
Cool, Merry Christmas.
And I hope that you have a very successful 2024. It'll take a lot of beating, though, to do this here again, won't it?
Yeah, hopefully we've set the standard for next year. So, yeah, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, that's Lara Dixon there winning the Forces Championship for 2023. It's been so exciting. We expected it to be a really close jump off. I'd like to thank also to our co-commentators as well, who've taken us through the event. And don't forget, lots of comments on social media. Thanks for all the comments that you've been sending through. And remember, you can watch this all back again on our Forces News YouTube channel and also on Facebook as well. But from me, John Knighton, and from all the team here at this wonderful London International Horse Show at the ExCeL Arena, it's time for us to say goodbye. And don't forget as well, of course, the Kentish Cup reaches its climax as well today with the French against the Dutch Armed Forces. Can UCAF win that title? We'll have to wait and see how that game goes later on this afternoon, and we'll keep you in touch, of course, with that on BFBS Radio News and on our social media channels. But from me and all the team here back in our headquarters and here at the London ExCeL Arena, this is from me, John Knighton, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas.
But how do you survive fighting in the jungle?
I'm wearing what's called a frisbee seat.
This is the Chinook that we will be flying on as part of the fly past.
It's easy to forget that we are in a potentially hostile environment.